everyone. I had mentioned back when I think it was when I did my seed haul back last late winter, like February, March or something, that I would try to do a seed review. And so I decided I would do that today. I was going back and forth between separating by type of food or separating by seed company so that I could kind of review both. And what I decided was to go through them by type of food, and I will try to sort the packets, although they're all over my desk right here. I'll try to sort the packets by company as I'm done with them so that I can then maybe give a short review at the end about the companies, if that makes any sense. And I'm probably going to do berries and fruit trees on a different video just because I feel like looking at all these, it's going to take a while. I did plant a lot more this year experimentally than I usually do, but it's my first year on the homestead. It's the first year I have had plenty of space to grow things. So I experimented a lot. And some things I was successful with, some things I was not. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with lettuces and brassicas, okay? So from Baker Creek, I got this Yeticule lettuce. It's okay. It did fine. It's okay. It tastes close to a spinach, kind of. So I didn't plant too many, just a couple of those. And then here from Territorial, a Butter Crunch. I'm not sure any of these actually survived the Butter Crunch. And then also this Organic Superior one, another crisp head. Also, they germinated okay, but didn't survive the transplant very well. Little Gem, I got, I think, one of these, and it was good. Rocky Top, I've planted this twice. This always germinates well for me, and I like the blend, and it lasts well. So this is one for sure I'll plant again. Gondar Crisp Head, I don't even know if I planted this. I don't remember it at all. So if I did, it didn't germinate. From Johnny's Seeds, I got another Iceberg Lettuce. It didn't germinate. Tom Thumb, this was cute, and I got a few of these, and they were good, and look how tiny they are. They fit in the palm of your hand, so those were fun. Lakeside Spinach, this germinated just fine. It grew well. It's just not my favorite spinach. I'm going to try a different type next year. If you have one you recommend, a type of spinach, then let me know in the comments, because I would like to know. This is really thick, and I'm looking for something a little thinner leaf, more like what you find in the grocery store. This did not grow for me at all, this little Amaranth thing. Not sure what the issue was with that. So this Kale, the package is cabbage. Nero de Toscana Kale, this grew fine. It's like dinosaur kale. It's good, and it grew well. I also planted this Scarlet Kale. This is my daughter's favorite, and this also germinated and grew just fine, and it's still out in my garden. The kales are very frost tolerant too, so that's awesome. The White Russian Kale from Johnny's did okay. I want to say like half of them germinated. I will try that one again next fall or in the spring. Cauliflowers. A Violetta cauliflower. This one from Pine Tree just did not, it just didn't survive. I'm not sure why. I had issues with the Brassicas, and I'm not sure. I mean, I did the hardening off and everything. I'm not sure what the issue is with those. But same with the cauliflower. This just didn't, half of them germinated. The ones that did just didn't last through the transplant. And I'm, again, not sure what that issue was. This Chinese cabbage was fun. I make a Chinese chicken salad with these. So that was good. This cabbage looks pretty, and I think only one of these actually did well. It did say this was overpacked due to low germination. I actually didn't have a problem with the germination rate. It was more of just the growing once they were transplanted rate. So I will try that one again, because it's pretty and I want to know. This Katarina Cabbage, these grew very well for me. They have small heads. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be small. Oh yeah, light green 4-inch globes. They're so cute, and they all grew well. From Haas Tools, I planted this collard greens. They're just collard greens. And it was my first time planting collard greens. They were good. My chickens love them too. But they were good and they did fine. The green sprouting broccoli, this one did the best for me. Not so well in the spring, worked well in the fall. It just did better than the other broccolis. This was the better one for me, but it doesn't produce that much. My purple sprouting broccoli didn't do well. Again, the transplant, it germinated fine. It just didn't do well after transplanted. The Waltham broccoli did okay, better than some of the others. I don't know if I should try a different type because it tasted fine. And then this purple lady bok choy, love this. It did well. Again, my daughter loved it. They're very cute, especially when they're small and they're beautiful and they taste good. So that was a win in my book. Let's see what we have over here. All right, so turnip. I planted a Hidabeni turnip. I got this from, oh, this is from Baker Creek, but it's just in a different type of package than normal. I tried this because I had read that these are good keepers, and I was thinking of the storage in the basement. I call it my cellar. They're kind of spicy, which turnips to me aren't usually spicy. So I'll probably try a different turnip. If you have an idea for a good sweet turnip, let me know in the comments, and I would try those. The Shioga beet and the golden beets. This one's Pine Tree. This one was Baker Creek. The golden beets germinated better and grew better. I did get a few of these. I think that my thing is empty. Not all of them germinated, but I did get some. I think I will try them again. Some of these spring fall vegetables do better in the fall than the spring, and I'm kind of wondering, because I did these in the spring, if they would be better in the fall. I always think of beets as a spring vegetable though, but I love golden beets too, so that was a good one. Pine tree. I don't have a pile for pine tree yet. Okay, let's see, I got tomatillos here. They germinated okay and they grew well. I needed to plant them a little bit earlier. They didn't have long enough to get fully grown before the weather cooled down, because really I'm not in the right zone. Tomatillos need a really hot area and I'm in a 7A. I think if I start them earlier and keep them inside longer though, then I might be able to trick them a little bit, almost like a greenhouse thing, but they did fine. Cucumbers, let's see. Everyone suggested these beet alphas, and this is my second time trying to grow them, and I cannot get them to produce much. I mean, they germinate, they just don't produce much, but everyone else I see planting them, it produces a lot. So I will try them again for a third time, but if they fail, then I'm giving up on them. I'm gonna give up, okay? This one, Jubai Shimo Shirasu, also from Baker Creek. It was fine. There was nothing special about it to me. It says the sweetest cucumber we've tasted. I didn't think it was any different really than any other one. Mini munched, these were fun. They're small and they're great for snacking, and these did pretty darn well. These were from Territorial. These Bella F1s did okay. I felt like they stopped growing pretty early. I don't know, maybe they just didn't last through different weather and the humidity or whatever as well as some other types. Chicago Pickling, okay, these were, let's see, when I read this somewhere, it said some people prefer these to Boston Pickling, and so I grew these this year, and I'll probably switch back to Boston next year. They were fine. They germinated fine. They grew. They produced plenty of cucumbers, but I wanted these specifically for pickling, and they were very curved. I had a lot of loopy cucumbers, and you know, when you're canning and you're trying to stuff them all in the jar, it works a lot better if they're straight. So the Boston picklers to me are straighter and would be easier for that. Let's talk tomatoes. I don't think I have all of them here. even though that's a lot. Candyland Red from Territorial. These were fun. They are tiny, like teeny tiny, and they're great for snacking on in the garden or sprinkling in a salad. They're fun and they taste good too. So I like those. I'll plant those again. Blush Cherry Tomato. Hold on. Okay. I can't forget this. So these two, okay, the blush. These are like a small, in my head, okay, I have orange Peruge right here. These are cherry tomatoes, both of them. I have orange Peruge right here, and I was thinking this in my head, but now I'm wondering if it was the blush ones. One of these two is now my favorite cherry tomato. I don't plant a lot of cherry ones because you can only eat them fresh. I'm not gonna can with those, but I can't believe it was an orange. You know, it was a solid orange. So I'm gonna say it probably wasn't the blush. These were good. I did not have any problems with germination with any of my tomatoes or with transplanting. These were good. They just weren't a standout to me. The orange Peruge, I'm pretty sure that's what it was because they were a solid orange. You know what? Okay. Yeah. I know what I mean. The blush ones say cherry tomato, but they're like 2 or 3 inches long. They're almost like aroma in shape, and they were fine. But to me, not worth taking up the space when I could be planting something I like more. The orange Peruge are the ones I'm thinking of. They're an orange cherry tomato, and normally the oranges and yellows are not my favorite tomatoes, but from the description, I went ahead and tried it, and super good. If I could recommend one new thing I tried this year to anybody, it's the orange Peruge cherry tomato. And I got this one from Territorial. Sunrise Bumblebee, beautiful, tasty. Again, I'd rather have orange Peruge. But they're gorgeous, and they're pretty, and they are tasty. Artemis, cherry tomato. These were another one that was just fine. They were a good tomato. There was nothing wrong with them. But I'll either try something new this year or fill it in with something I love. I always plant yellow pears. They always do well. I will say this year, having moved to a new climate, we have summer storms, which I'm not used to. And these were the tomatoes will crack and split if it's dry, and then there's a bunch of rain, and then, you know, they get the moisture that's sudden. And these were the first ones to split. They stood up the least well, but I will still plant them because yellow pears are some of my favorites. And they germinate and grow prolifically as well. Okay, classic beefsteak. I will always grow these. These are my favorite red slicer and fresh eater. And I know a lot of other people suggest a lot of different ones, but these are always going to be my go-to. They're just the best to me. I normally love the red, and this is red, and I don't eat a lot of pink tomatoes, but I did find another one this year that I like almost as well. This is a Moma Toro. It's a hybrid from Territorial. It says dark pink. It was, to me, kind of just a different red than the beefsteak. It tasted almost as good. The cool thing, okay, these are smaller, but they're not small. Like, they're a good sized tomato, but these, like, sometimes they're like this big, sometimes they're this big. They're odd shaped. The Moma Toros were nice and uniform, round, like perfect grocery store tomatoes. I will probably grow a few of those again. So that's the tomatoes. Grabbing here, radishes. Okay, the watermelon radish did fine. They call it the Chinese red meat over at Baker Creek. This one was probably my biggest disappointment this year. The Chinese Shawo fruit radish. This is what got me to try it. A unique bright green radish from northern China. So sweet, it's used as a fresh fruit substitute in winter there. There was nothing sweet about these for me. They were some of the spiciest radishes I have ever had. So if you like spicy radishes, you know, these Chinese Shawo fruit might be what you want, but they germinated well, they grew well. I just didn't like them. Did we already do cucumbers? Okay. I feel feel like I have more than one package of. Okay, beans. Here we go. Let's do some beans. I have some from My Gardener here, and he had some fun ones that I just decided to try. Mayflower bean. I have not eaten these yet to see if they're good. I do need to cook them. They were fun. These are like a historical pole bean. Came over on the Mayflower. That's what people on the Mayflower brought with them. They're like red and white, so they're kind of cool looking. I haven't eaten them yet. Hopefully I'll remember to follow up with you after I have. Easy germination, pretty prolific. Cannellini beans, these also germinated well and did fine with me. I think I'll plant more of them next year. Cannellini yellow eye. Again, I haven't eaten these. They just looked fun. They are, they're a cowpea type variety with the yellow, like a mustard color spot on it. But all of those did well. Trying not to cross my spots here. Let's see, green beans we had. Old Homestead, which I believe is the same as Kentucky Wonder. It's Kentucky Wonder. And I grew these with the Blue Lake side by side to see which I liked better this year. I like Blue Lake better. I'm always open to more green bean suggestions. They both produced very prolifically and were easy to grow and germinate and all that. The shelling peas tall telephone. I did not get a lot out of this because the rabbits came and ate the top of my sprouts off. So I can't really review that one very well, although they did all come up pretty well. So that was a good thing. Sugar snap peas and super sugar snap. And I'm missing the package because I also grew the purple Magnolia sugar snap peas. The regular, oh no, these are the regular. These are the regular, these are the purple Magnolia ones. I think they're just called Magnolia. These are the purple ones. They're beautiful. Both of these germinate and produce just fine. I like the taste of the regular sugar snap pea better. I do. That's just me. But I might just grow the purple ones because they're so pretty, and it is nice that they're so easy to find and not miss on the vine. I also have here the dragon tongue bean. I grew these just for fun. They grew fine. They're a little fuzzy, which I wasn't expecting. They tasted fine to me, but I kind of prefer a regular green bean with them. So, but you know, they're just fun. They're fun. Peppers here. Got banana peppers. I always grow those. These germinate fine and produce a lot. And I make pepperoncinis with these too. I know it's not pepperoncinis because they're not pepperoni peppers, but I pickle them the same way. The Anaheims grew well. Where's my sweeties? Okay, I grew these yellow, orange, and red sweetie peppers from Territorial, and they're like the little snacking peppers. Very, very prolific, and they were delicious. The Lesia, this interested me from the description. To me, it just tasted like a bell pepper. There was nothing special about it, but it's a little more finicky to grow, so I would rather just stick with the bell peppers. The Poblano did okay. I felt like it just didn't germinate as well as I expected it to, and I only ended up with one plant, even though I made several of them. The Violet Sparkle is a beautiful, beautiful pepper. Again, just tastes like a bell pepper to me. It's a little more finicky to grow, so I'm not sure it's worth it to me to do that. Celery did not have good luck. I've heard celery is hard to grow. Is that true? Because I'm not having luck with it. I tried both spring and fall. I had better luck with this Chinese pink celery than I did the regular celery. I grew the Tango. It just didn't do that well. Onions. Trying to get some salad my way. Okay, onions. I grew these organic. These are Parade, and these were just Tokyo Long. These are both green onions, and these germinated better for me. I've never had a problem with green onions till this year, and I'm having a problem with them this year. But these ones from Mountain Valley Seed Company,
did better for me than the organic Parade bunching scallions. And then I grew a red, I got the plugs of the red. I can't remember what kind they were. Probably candy red, candy apple red, something like that. And they did okay. They were kind of small, like golf ball size. I got these early Texas Grano, and I don't think that they ever bulbed up for me. I'm also wondering, are these a short day? Because I'm in a short day area. Anyways, corn. Okay, I got these baby corns from MI Gardener because I love baby corns in my salad. I thought that'll be fun. This didn't do well. The stalks, they grew just like regular corn, tall with big ears. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened. Oh, I missed this bean, the Azuki bean. This is pretty good. They're tiny though, and I feel like they weren't worth it as far as, like, you'd have to grow a lot more to get the same amount you would with a normal size bean because these are teeny tiny. Back to corn. So baby corn, Country Gentleman was decent. All the corn germinated just fine. Peaches and Cream was my favorite this year. It grew, it germinated, it grew, it produced. I think I got more ears off of these than I did the other types, as far as not, like, some of them I lost to bugs eating them. And then the super sweet Jubilee is probably, this was probably my, this one got eaten a lot. It grew fine, it germinated, it just got eaten a lot by bugs. It was more prone to the bugs than my other corns, and I am not sure if that's because it was on one side, and the bugs hit there first, you know? I don't know. We'll see. Carrots, Scarlet, Nantes. These are from Mountain Valley. They germinate well. They taste delicious. These have been my go-to ones as I experiment with others. Okay, so all of these other ones that I'm going to mention germinated fine. They just didn't taste good. And I will try them. I grew them in the spring. I'm just, you know what? Spring carrots, not my thing. It gets warm for them to grow, and carrots are better after it's been cold, but they need to be fully grown because they don't grow in the cold. So I tried to grow them again in the fall, but I didn't plant them early enough. So I will try them each again next summer for fall harvest, because I'm still curious about them. So what I tried is the new Carota, orange carrot, Black Nebula, Tender Sweet, Kyoto Red, the Merida F1, and the Cosmic Purple. And again, I'm not going to rate that against the company because they grew fine. I just didn't like the flavor, but again, I think that was weather related. Talking herbs here. Let's see, this parsley, this was like a pickup from Walmart from Burpee. The parsley it grows really well. It's still growing. I never had a chance to plant the culantro from MI Gardener, which is like cilantro, but lasts better. It's supposed to be stronger than cilantro. I'm trying to remember if this is better in the cold or the heat than cilantro. It's one or the other, but I just didn't have time for it. I did not. That's one of those free ones. And again, just to pick up at Walmart, the oregano grew fine, still out there, very good. The slow boat cilantro worked well. It's the first time I've been able to get cilantro to grow for more than like 2 days. Worked really well. Basil rocked it. Another Walmart pickup. This one was awesome. Very prolific. They just kept coming back, and I dried so much basil, and I have some for my chickens too. So I cannot get this shiso stuff to grow to save my life. I've tried. It's just not ever working out for me, ever. Okay, lastly, flowers. These were, I think, from Lowe's, a sunflower. They grew fine. I think I let the chickens eat them. Okay, these Gomphrena Globe Amaranth. These were awesome. There's no picture of them here, but they are supposed to, what size are they supposed to be? 24 inches. These things were like up to my chest. They were like 4 feet wide and they were tall, and they have beautiful, they are loaded down with beautiful blooms in pink and purple and white. And it's kind of a mix. You don't really know what it's going to be. And those blooms, it just gets fuller. They don't die. You don't have to deadhead them or trim them off. They don't die all season long. It just gets more and more blooms. So it gets more and more full of color. And it was great. I wish it was a perennial. I will definitely grow those again. It killed me to rip them out after the frost started to kill them. But those were awesome. The giant wine zinnia, beautiful color, gorgeous full blooms. The butterflies and the bees, love them. Those were awesome. Let's see, what else actually did well here? Because the rest of these did not really do great. Okay, so I did not have good luck with some poppies and things. Actually, this one did good. The white marigold, I grew that in my garden, and that actually did very, very well. Those marigolds got bigger than I've ever seen marigolds before. Okay, so I planted the Amazing Gray Poppy and Flemish Antique. And they didn't even germinate. I think I tried them twice. I was highly disappointed because they're beautiful and I wanted to plant them. And I came from California where poppies grow wild everywhere. So I was like, are they hard to grow? I followed the directions. I tried actually both because they say direct sow, and I actually tried doing them indoors too to have a little more control because it didn't work the first time and there was no winning with that. So then I planted 3 hollyhocks, the jet black, majorette champagne double, and this creme de cassis, which is like an off-white. This one did the best. That's the off-white one. They all germinated. I never saw flowers on these two. The plants grew, I never saw flowers. I will say that the area they were in, I did not have the best irrigation. So maybe that was it, maybe. Okay, so now that I'm looking back at my piles, because that's all I grew, where did I get these Mountain Valley seeds? I feel like I wouldn't have ordered just 2 things, but these both did well, what I got from them. My herbs from like Home Depot, Walmart did great. They all did great. From M.I. Gardner, I would say just about everything I planted did well, and his seeds are cheaper and they're not any less in the packet than other companies. So, and that was like during early COVID when it was crazy. Everyone was ordering seeds, and they still packed them and got them pretty quickly to me. So we'll definitely order from M.I. Gardner. Again, I honestly wish he had more selection because I love his company. Let's see, from Haas Tools, I will order from them again. I just like those guys, and I've only bought 2 seeds. I actually had ordered like a satchel thing you wear while you're picking corn, and then picked up the seeds while I was there, and I liked both of them. That's the only reason I only have 2 packets from them, but I will look at their stuff too. And they have a really good educational YouTube channel. They don't garden the same way I do, but there's still a lot of tips to pick up, and they do a lot of reviews of different types of each crop, like different types of tomatoes, different types of corn, and I love getting that feedback. Let's see, Pine Tree, 4 that didn't do great, and the rest of these that did. I think they were possibly the cheaper company too, but I don't remember how that equaled out in shipping. But pretty good luck with theirs. Pretty good luck. And no, that's not who I ordered garlic from. I ordered garlic from Johnny's? I ordered garlic from 2 places, and now I can't remember where. That'll have to be a separate video anyways, because I can't review them because I just planted them and they won't be ready to eat till summer. From Johnny's, one hit, one miss. I feel like I planted more from Johnny's than this, so. Oh no, yes. I had ordered seed trays from them. That's why I only have a few. So, I mean, I wouldn't object to ordering from them, but they're not a go-to source for me. Territorial, I was a little disappointed with. I did have all these that did well, but these did not. Actually, that one belongs in this pile. So these, I will say that one of them I just didn't like. This did well, I just didn't like. That was the spinach that I talked about, but the rest of them just didn't do well. But all of these did. So I would say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 75 to 80% of them did very well. I don't remember what their shipping costs were. Now, Baker Creek is free shipping, but their seeds are a little more expensive too. It kind of evens out, I guess. So what happens if I try to sort while I'm doing a video? I got a couple things in the wrong pile here. So that and that, these were two that were better. So we'll say 80 to 85% of Territorial did well. Okay, so for Baker Creek, these are the ones that I loved or did well. And these are the ones that didn't. Now, it's definitely way more that did, but that's still quite a few that I had. Let's see. Really? So these were all because I just didn't get many plants out of them. These were just ones I didn't like. So I don't know. Maybe I need to read up on the flowers too. All of these though were great. I do like them as a company. I want to go visit there someday, but I think they're still closed. But you know, that's still a ton. That did great, and I will definitely order from them. I order their big catalog just because it's so dang beautiful. What do I have over here? Oh, these are beans I saved. Some free seeds I didn't get to. So that is, yeah, I will do, this is a long video, so I'm gonna do berries and fruit trees in a separate video. Hopefully I just remember to do it soon. And I definitely have some opinions for the companies on those. These were, no company I hated, definitely a few favorites. But the trees, I have some favorites, and I have some I will never again places. So let me know if there's something you think I should grow, and if you have a suggestion for the spinach, a better spinach for me to grow. I'm trying to think whatever else I asked about while I was going through them. If you have any tips on getting those poppies to germinate, because none of them, I tried them twice, not a single one. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.